Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Okay. Well, I have a few questions for you. Starting at the beginning, research on you is a little sparse here in the archives. Why is that?
I really don't know what happened and how that happened. In the beginning, it was just a fundraising thing, and then we started getting involved with LA&M. So I think there was like a gap in between there.
Okay. So starting again right at the beginning, where did you grow up?
I was raised in Tampa, Florida. My parents are Cuban. And then we moved to New York City, the Bronx.
Okay. Why did your family go there?
My father's his family's a cigar maker, and Havana Cuba cigar, for those who smoke cigars. And so they started their own business in the Bronx.
How did you spend your time in the Bronx?
We all went to Catholic school, so we're all the good girls. Not anymore. And after school, we used to come home and help my dad put the cellophane in the cigar box, and each cigar and put it in the box. We did that, which we actually enjoyed doing that. And half my family lived in the same building as we did.
So did you go outside a lot, or did you spend most of your time inside?
Inside, because those days my parents wouldn't let us play outside, so I don't know how to ride a bicycle, I can't roller skate. So yeah, we stayed in the house a lot.
So what was it like to have to watch the other children outside while you were inside?
It was a pity party for us.
Yeah.
But we did coloring, and my grandmother lived with us, so we played games.
What sort of games did you play with her?
I don't remember, it was like years ago. I was little bitty.
So tell us about Catholic school a little bit. What was it like for you?
It was hard because my sister was like the brain in the family, so I was the in-between sister, so I was not too bright. So every time I couldn't solve a problem, they called my older sister to come in, and then I get a smack in the face and then the paddle in my knuckles. So it wasn't very good. Once I graduated, I never went back to church, school, nothing. I was out of there.
Do you think that has shaped your interests today?
I don't know, I never thought about that at all.
Yeah. Just a good curiosity here. So, let me jump over that one. You lived in New York City's Greenwich Village at one time.
Yes, I did.
Tell us a little bit about that and the time frame that was involved with that.
When I graduated from high school, I kept telling everybody, oh, I'm going to go to Greenwich Village. The Bohemians were there. Everybody was so free and wonderful. And so my first job, I saved money and moved there. And I live on 1 St. Mark's Place, where all the Bohemians were. They used to play cards and play their games outside. And then throughout the years, of course, it all changed, but it was wonderful living there.
Did you encounter a lot of the gay scene there at the time?
Oh, God, yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
I used to be able, like my building, half the men were gay, so it was like very comfort zone for me. So we used to go to gay bars, well not all, but some of the gay bars. And we used to have home parties, everybody used to cook and have a good time doing that, so I definitely enjoyed that.
So what were the bars like at that time?
You know something, I don't remember it that well because I wish I would have experienced more of it, because we never did go to the New York Eagle. It was just more like the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really don't know the difference.
Are there any people that you specifically remember from your time there?
No.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. I'm old, honey.
What took you to California?
I met this, at the time, wonderful man and in Greenwich Village, and he swept me off my feet, and he said, let's save money and go to California. And I said, okay, I'll try that, see what happens. And then we got married, had children, got a divorce, which was it was good. No drama there, thank God. But I have 2 beautiful children. Robin is 40. She'll be 41 in October, and my son William, he'll be 38 in, he was 38, yeah, in May. And then I have a granddaughter who's just turned 15.
So how do they react to you and your involvement in the leather community and
My son was like, ooh, that kind of thing. And then after he started meeting the boys that came to my house, I go, oh, Mom, they love fun. I go, yeah. So he used to come and play cards with my boys, and we all cocktails. So yeah, it wasn't that much of a problem.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, in interviewing some of your family members in preparation, I was told you have helped raise the town of Dublin, California. How have you done that?
After I had my second child, I didn't want to go to work because I had a daycare for my daughter, and it was like, I wasn't happy with her, and I have two of them. So then I got pregnant with my son, and I decided I'm going to stay home. And when he was about 6 months old, we needed extra money, so I said, I want to start doing daycare. So I started putting ads in and got my license, so I raised half of Dublin, and plus their children I've taken care of.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Have you ever had any issues with any of the parents from the children?
No, but this is a funny story. When I meet a parent, even if it's 150 degrees, I have, turtleneck, I change the color and nail polish. I do the whole 9 yard. And then during the day when the parent leave, I just like, tank top on, whatever. And it was gay pride, and I was in pride. And I had like a brother and sister, 7 and 8 years old. They knew exactly where my tattoos were. And so it was on a Sunday, and the gay pride, I was there having a good old gay time. Monday morning, the mother and the kids come in and goes, oh, Nana, the kids said that you were on TV with the gay people. And I would go, oh, no, not me. And they go, oh, yeah, they said you have this, AIDS ribbon over here, and you got the eagle over there. And I said, yeah, that was me. And you go, oh, that's hella cool. So that broke the ice. So after that, new parents that came to visit and interview me, take me as I am. Black nails, tattoos, that's me. So I never had a problem with it.
Wonderful. You alluded a little bit ago to your children and your granddaughter. I'm permanently straight.
I'm still straight.
And there were apparently a couple of people with whom you used to go out, Nancy and Stacy.
Oh, God, yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so Stacy and I, we lived like, we know each other forever. We both have two kids. And she worked in San Francisco, and we both got a divorce within a few months of each other. And so we decided girls' night out Thursday. So, and our kids were like 15, actually 12 and 13. So we could leave them home in the evening for a few hours. So we used to go to the straight bar by her house, and the guys, you walk in, you want to buy a cocktail, and you could talk on number. We were not into that. So I said, Stacy, let's go to the gay bars in San Francisco. So she spoke to Nancy, who knew San Francisco. So one Saturday, we all went up there, and we went to on Castro, and it was like we had such a good time. Except that Nancy, for us to stay with her on the weekends, we had to go to church on Sunday morning, which was not a good thing. So we did that for about 4 months, and one time we were there at church, and the priest got up on the stage or whatever, and he said, all of a sudden he blared out, if you're gay, it's not a good thing because Jesus said, and I go, oh my God. I just got up. I said, fuck. I said, and so I walked out. Stacy and I walked out, and Nancy was really upset because she was like into the Jesus and all that kind of, and she didn't like hanging out with the gay guys, but I did. And so Stacy and I kept on going, and then we stopped going because I like going every weekend, whereby she didn't want to go every weekend, so. But that's why I met a lot of the boys at that time.
Tell us a bit about that. What were your impressions of the gay scene at that time?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
How?
It was, the guys were really nice. I felt safe being around so many men, and I knew there was a friendship there, that I didn't have to worry about being molested or being disrespected like you do in straight bars. And so it just kept on growing and growing.
Are there any people in particular you remember from that time?
Yes, the first person that I met, Ernestine. That's how I got my name, Mama. We walked into the Phoenix on Castro, it was a dance bar. Excuse me. Anyhow. And he's a drag queen, and I wasn't used to drag queens at all. I see them on TV periodically, and when I walked in, he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Oh, my name is Sandy." He goes, "Oh, no, you gotta be my mama." So I said, "Okay." Meanwhile, out of heels, he's about 6'4", heels that big, wig that high. So you have to look up at him like that. So I said, "Okay." And then all night long, he kept introducing me to all his friends. "Oh, this is my mama. This is my mama." So the name caught on. The following week, I went back and, "Hi, Mama." And that's how it all began.
When was that?
That was in the late 80s.
Okay. I couldn't help but notice you became a little emotional talking about that. Is there something that comes to mind?
Yes. Because I started going in 1988, and by the early 90s, all the guys, almost all of them that I met, they died from AIDS. And that was very emotional because these are people that I bonded with, that I spent weekends with them in their houses. I had their house keys, they came to my house, and they were just dropping like flies everywhere. Every weekend, during the week, there was somebody in the hospital again, and at that time, they didn't know what AIDS was all about and why people were coming down with AIDS. And I took a lot of care of a lot of gay men. I watched them die. I felt them dying. And I wish that everybody could experience that nowadays, only because AIDS is still an epidemic and it's still going on. Because the newer generation have no idea. They don't have a clue what it is like to see a friend wither to bones and die. So that topic is very touchy. And so we started doing the fundraising because they had to pay the rent, the telephone, and that's how the family said, "Let's start doing little fundraising and giving money to help them out." So that's how it all began.
Bringing it back to a slightly happier note, I had the privilege of speaking with Ernestine, and he let a few skeletons come out of the closet.
Uh-oh, I'm scared now.
He mentioned one time that he and you and some other people went to Reno, and you had an occasion to whip a table. What was that?
We went with a concert team, a biker group from San Francisco. We used to do the bike run to Reno. Oh, the people who didn't have motorcycles, they got on the train to Reno. And so they do shows when we get there. We have the whole hotel to ourselves, and they do shows, the camping shows. And so Ernestine was in full drag, and we were like starving to death. So we always said, "Oh, let's go eat." Little did we know that this big drag queen was like, everybody was, when we walked in, they were staring at him. So that bothered me. And then I saw people laughing at him. And by then I had had quite a few cocktails earlier. So and I said, "Margaret, I don't like this." And everybody said, "Mama, don't say nothing. It's okay." I said, "I'm going to whip some ass at him." And he said, "No, leave him alone." So finally they were staring and calling him, FAG word, which I hate to even say that word. And that bothered me so much. And I said, "Don't you ever call people that word. Have some manners and respect." And that was the end of it. The guys just got up, walked out. So I didn't have to whip ass.
So Ernestine also mentioned that he, at one point, had an occasion to auction you off for cash.
Yes, several times. I don't remember that far back. He don't remember more than I do. Because we used to do the Beauty's Revenge. I was telling some of my boys last night, we used to do the Beauty's Revenge, whereby they have like boxes of dresses and shoes and stockings and wigs and all lined up. So people say, "Oh, they picked up, well, when they came to my turn, they said, oh, here's, $50 for mama. And so, oh. And then they picked what you're gonna wear. I don't look pretty in purple, in lavender. And I was like, no, I can't do it. So the next person raises, it's like the money kept on piling up. So they made me wear, after they said $3,000, how could I say no? For $3,000, they put this short little lavender dress on me, not pretty, white stockings, heels like this, so I was walking lopsided, my hair in ponytails, purple lipstick, purple eyeshadow, which I had on my eyes for like 3 days, couldn't get it out, and of course, not pretty, and of course all the glitter. So what they do there, somebody in the back room, they dress you up, and then all of a sudden they play a song, and then they push you through the curtain so you don't know what song is coming up. My song, thank God, was She Works Hard for the Money. So you gotta dance, and then people tip you, so it was over $3,000, so it was for a good cause. One time only, I will never do it again. Jeff Willoughby, where are you?
Never said.
Tell us about some of the first people that were part of Mama's family. The first core group, there was Ernestine, but who else joined you in that first?
Oh, and there was so many, Jeffrey, most of them are just gone. There was so many that were gone. I mean, they would get sick, and I'd be the one to go and help take care of them. And the worst one was Teddy, that I kept on calling him. And you know how you know somebody's telephone number by heart. And I was calling him, he wouldn't reply, he wouldn't call, so one day I finally, like after 2 months, I said, give me a call, you bitch. And I left my telephone number. His ex-partner was there, the phone rang immediately and said, Mama, he's very sick. And now you know how sick he was. So they had a nurse there all the time, so I went to visit him. And when I walked into that house, I felt death. And the nurse was cleaning him up and all that, so I couldn't go upstairs. And they were trying to feed him, he wouldn't eat. And so I went up there, he didn't know what was coming. And they said, Teddy, guess who's here? He goes, my mama. So I fed him. Nobody could feed him, but I fed Teddy. And the next morning the phone rang and Teddy was gone. So it was like, bad memories in the beginning.
Yeah. Was the family focused mostly on any particular bar, any particular place in San Francisco?
No, not really, because we did Polk Street there for a while too. We went over to Folsom, Polk Street, and of course I met more of the guys there. And more drag shows that were going on Polk Street. So, and then of course, Castro. But then I saw how I got involved with the leather was I saw this gorgeous hunky man in leather walking in front of Daddy's bar in Castro, and I go, oh my God, look at that guy. Where do the leather guys come? He go, you don't want to go there, Mama. I said, yes, I did. So needless to say, the next weekend I came out, they took me to some shop, and I got a little vest, and I got a new pair of boots, the beginning thing, and started going to the Eagle and the Powerhouse, and the rest is history.
So what were some of your impressions of that? Anything that surprised you, shocked you?
It's funny because certain bars, I know where not to go, like the back rooms, or upstairs, or around the corner. So it's funny because a lot of the women wouldn't be even allowed in some of the bars because some of the women would go into the men's space, I don't know what you guys call it, but intrude, by the pool table where they're doing naughties, I don't go there. So, but like the bar could be packed, especially like the leather weekends and stuff, packed with out-of-towners, and a few times that somebody would say, oh, there's a woman in here. Oh, it's only Mama. So they didn't mind, they accepted it, and they know my limits. I don't, snoop around.
Wonderful. Well, I understand that over the years as the family has evolved, several awards have come up. So tell us about the Drama Queen Award.
Oh my God.
I understand you won it.
Yes. It's when a person is complaining all the time, they think it's all about them, that everybody's out to get them. They get the drama queen pin and they have to wear it for a month. And then we have the mama's bitter one, that they hate the whole freaking world. And they have to wear it. They've been behaving so no one's had it for a long time.
Why did you win the Drama Queen Award?
Oh God, my job was slow and the bills had to get paid and I was having like too many cocktails and my mouth went blah, blah, blah. And they gave me the pin. But it was a fun thing. I did wear it for a month.
The family continues to grow. What thoughts have you about the family growing so large? Did you ever foresee this?
No. This is like a fairy tale book. I mean, I look at my family and I think about them, and it's like the most inspiration that I've had in my life. And they make me feel so good. I love you guys so much. And they know that I always tell them, they always say, I love you, Mama, but I'm the top of the family, so I always say, I love you more. You know, because I could never live without all of you guys that have been touched in my heart.
So how many people are in the family now?
Way too many. No, it's like 1,040 something.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll be giving birth today, so you guys who have never seen that, I will be giving birth to a couple of people here tonight.
Well, does having so many people in the family become overwhelming?
Yeah, when I look at the list of number 1 to 1,043, it's like, and all the names are different. It's like, how did this ever happen? I ask myself, you know, what have I done to deserve you? It's such a beautiful feeling. And if I died tomorrow, I would have died a happy person.
How many international locations are represented?
We have in Canada, we have over 50 in Canada. In Washington, in Chicago, we have so many. They come out of the woodwork. Yeah, in Canada, we have over 50 Mama's family there.
Any in other locations, further locations?
2 in France, and of course every state's got quite a few. So.
Wonderful. So.
Oh, and 1 German daddy. Gotta have
I think the audience liked that.
Yeah, he's a hottie too.
We can only hope.
Incest is not best.
So, in your fundraising efforts in any given year, generally how much money do you generate through your charities?
You know, it's when we first started, I didn't keep track of it, and then somebody said, "Oh, keep track of how much money San Francisco family raises," and we did over $1 million. And then, yes. And then with like Chicago family and every state that started raising money, I kept track of it for a while, but it was overwhelming. So I think we raised over $3 million a year.
Incredible.
And whatever Chicago raises, it stays here. People thought in the beginning that you do a fundraiser in their town and they send me the money. No, you do it in your town, it stays in your town.
In talking with some of your family members, I'm told that you are a convener. You are able to bring people together for charitable work. How do you see yourself in that capacity?
I don't know. I think it's something that just happened. I think people were waiting for somebody to direct them, to inspire them. At least I hope so, because it proves it every time. I see the Pantheon winners, and 99% of the Pantheon list is my family. Yeah, it's overwhelming. I'm sorry, I have to cry sometimes.
That's okay. So, I'm also told that you cross all the lines in the community. How do you accomplish that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm just told that there's no such thing as Mama being not part of a certain group of people or unable to access a certain group of people.
it just happened. You know, I'm easy with people. People in the community seem to like me. The transgender, I have family members that are transgender. I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody because I treat everybody with manners and respect.
Do you see that continuing in the community?
I hope so. Because at times I'm very disappointed with the community at large.
How are you disappointed?
The lack of manners and respect, the lack of or the backstabbing. We were talking to some of my boys last night, the backstabbing that goes on. And I was trying to explain to them my feelings about that when somebody, especially the title holder group or place like that, they attack somebody and they keep on. And then instead of people not responding, somebody has to respond. So that person builds himself up to respond back. And it goes on for days. And I read the first couple of times, and after that, it's delete, delete, delete. And these people, if you stop and think about it, these are the people that have never been to your fundraiser, never donated $1 to your cause, and you don't see them, they never do anything. But they're the first one to bitch about somebody else who is busting your butts doing something for the community. And that's my personal feelings.
Well, do you feel that being a woman in the leather community, a matriarch, if you will, do you think that that enables you to better draw people together, to motivate people?
Oh, I think so.
How do you see that?
Every time I travel and I come back home, my email, I swear to God, this is the honest to goodness truth. People are afraid to approach me. Why, I do not know, but when I come back from IML, MAL, call, wherever I go, I get email, oh man, we wanted to talk to you, but we really know how to approach you. How do I become part of the family? Give me your family. And they want information, so I direct them to my website. Everything is there. And so they're like, we become friends online. And then when they want to become part of the family, send me a bio. Tell me what you've done for your community. I don't pin you because you are cute. You got nice tits, big down there. I don't care what you got or don't got. Work for your community and you're part of my family.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself a community icon?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I'm just little old me. I mean, my life has been built and it's nice, but I consider myself average like everybody else.
Incredible. Because a lot of people would say that you're probably one of the bigger names in the community.
I know, and thank you, but I'm little old me.
Tell us about your LeatherWalks. Why did those begin? How did they begin?
Okay, it started, I forgot what year. I was just involved with raising money and walking. And 8 years ago, the guy who used to coordinate everything passed with AIDS. But before he passed away, I went to his leather shop because he used to do alterations and things there. And he didn't look very healthy, and I knew he wasn't doing well. So he said, I'm going back home to my folks, they're going to take care of me. I said, oh. And I don't know why, but the first thing out of my mouth was, who's going to do LeatherWalk? And he goes, Mama, of course you. And I've never produced anything that big because it is kind of big. And so I said, really? He goes, yeah. You got the people behind you, you can do it, you know what to do. And so I did my little fast research and started this year being 9 years. And what it is, you have a pledge sheet and you get people to donate whatever they want and for the LeatherWalk. In the beginning, before I got involved, I used to be for AIDS, for the AIDS Emergency Fund. And then when I got involved and I knew women who went through breast cancer, and I spoke to the founder of, which is Art Tomaszewski. I said, Art, can I do half and half? He said, by all means. So that year we raised $32,000. We had tons of women, bikers, everybody came out for that. So I really enjoyed doing that.
So tell me, I learned that there's a particular woman that you would visit in some of the projects in somewhere around San Francisco, and this is building into your toy drive. Brenda's house. Tell me about visiting Brenda's house.
I wish I could lose weight by just shedding tears. I did. Oh. So, in 2001, I get a telephone call, and there was a gentleman from Gurnville. That's the family's second home away from home. And he said, "Mama, the gentleman that always got toys for the kids here for our community has disappeared." And it was like 3 days before Christmas. He says, "Can you and your family do a toy drive?" Well, you know, it was too late. So I said, "I'm sorry, we'll do it. We'll talk about it for next year." So we started 2000, I think it was 2002. We started Mama's 2002 toy drive, and I was hoping to get 2002 toys for 2002 for the children, not only for Gurnville, but other places. Well, in the community, when I started telling people about it, they start already Christmas in July, and actually, let me back up. The first year that we did it, we got like 10,000 toys, and so I got Lenny Broberg. I'm sure some of you know Lenny Broberg. I said, "Lenny, you know, he's an officer in San Francisco." I said, "Lenny, I got too many toys. Who can we give toys to?" Because he works in the projects, the bad area of San Francisco. He goes, Brenda's house. So I said, fine. I said, "Give me a list of the children's age and, you know, boy, girl, that kind of thing." And Brenda had two or three neighbors, and they're all like grandmothers, old grandmothers raising their grandkids because their stupid kids are all in jail. And so we back up everything, and then Lenny and I go to the project and deliver all the toys to Brenda's house. And the kids, when we come in there, the kids are, "Hi, Officer Lenny. Hi, Mama." And the grandparents cry every year. Every year. The grandma and the granddad, they just cry and they appreciate what the family does. So we've been doing that. This will be the 9th year for that. And so anyhow, that was the first year, and I was like, oh, thank God it's over. Because after a while, my house is nothing but toys, which is wonderful. My backyard, the patio, everything. But it was wonderful. And then the second year, people started, before even Christmas started, "Oh, Mama Reinhardt, we know what you do." You know, they own stores and they have old toys, and they're all brand new. We don't accept used toys. And if you want some, we'll bring it to you. I said, fine. I never say no to anything. This man pulls up in a U-Haul. And I look, and I go, oh God, it better not be full, because I had no place to put it. Sure enough, it was like packed. So my garage was filled. And so I was talking to somebody in San Francisco, and I told him the story. He goes, oh, my donation would be to get you a storage in San Francisco, because I do not live in San Francisco. I live like 38 miles away. He said, Mama, I'll get you a truck to come and load up all the toys, and I'll pay for storage for you. What a blessing. So he did that for the past 4 years. So all the toys are, you know, he pays for the storage, and it's right there where it belongs. So it's wonderful.
Great. So what about you is the most misunderstood?
Does anybody misunderstand me? I don't know.
Only after the 6th cocktail.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
Okay, that's fair. What's your greatest challenge?
In my life was going through the divorce and maintaining. We bought a house, and like a year later we broke up, and I got the house. And the biggest challenge was keeping the house and my 2 kids, but they were little. So I did daycare. I had a license then, so I did daycare during the day. And the ones who were going at 5 o'clock going home, then the 5 o'clock nurses and doctors, their kids, those are around the clock. But I kept my house.
Incredible. What about people most pleases you?
When they're good to others,
And what displeases you?
when they're mean and rude and nasty. But I don't know, unfortunately, I don't know too many people like that, so.
Great. Okay. You're burning through a lot of my questions very quickly.
Uh-oh.
I had prepared about 4 pretty quick on them. Have your tattoos any special meaning?
Yes, this one especially, that's the last one I got, it says family. And I was, I think it was South Leather Fest or someplace like that about 4 years ago. And I don't know if you guys know Jenna, she's a tattoo artist. And I was introduced, she was going to do tattoos that weekend. And I was introduced to her. And she said, Mama Reinhardt, I know about you and your family. And I've been wanting to get like a symbol of a family, something or other. And she said, and she doesn't know me. And she goes, I have this vision of having like a tattoo for you with a family thing on it. I said, bless your heart, that's exactly what I wanted. And so she said, I'll have something for you. They were having a breakfast in the morning. She says, I'm going to sketch out something for you and you let me know. Well, she did this. And when I saw it, I sat there and I did my crime thing. And it didn't even hurt because I loved it so much. And it didn't even, I don't remember her putting that needle to my arm. All the rest I remember. This one was like the most beautiful tattoo ever. So that's because of my traveling.
Great. Well, in part of my research, I learned that you've always wanted to be a biker witch.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, the
I'm
thing
too
is-
old now. When I can die and come back, I will be.
Well, what's your desire there? What prompts that desire?
You know something? I always liked leather. And I remember being around 12 years old and I told my parents, they said, you know, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I want a leather jacket. And they said, no, because people are going to think you're a tramp. I'm 12 years old, hello. and I said, oh, please. And then my cousin, Freddie, he was like 2 years older. He got the leather jacket. So what we used to do, we used to all go to school together, me in my regular jacket, him in his leather jacket, and he used to let me wear his leather jacket to school and take it off and give it back to him. And it was such a joy, but I always loved leather. So that's it.
Well, I'm also told that you speak fluent Spanish. So you've overheard a few conversations during IML with some of the hotel staff. Tell us a bit about
It
that.
was so rude, and I was not drinking then, I swear to God. I was not. So IML, around 4 or 5 years ago, my boys and I walked into our room, just getting in, tired, and the housekeeping, they were calling gay men very bad words because they were leaving naughty things in the room for them to pick up. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so we went and unpacked and we came back down, they were still talking and it kept on getting, I guess after each room they went to, it got worse and worse for them. So the conversation was in Spanish, and I understand Spanish. And so I finally had to, so the boys said, don't say anything, Mom. So we went down, we had brunch or something. I had my little cocktail, we came up, they're still talking. And so I said in Spanish, I says, you know, pardon me, I said, not every gay man is that dirty. I've been listening to your conversation, you know, earlier today, and they said, oh, pardon, I'm sorry. I said, no, don't be sorry. I said, if you don't want to pick up naughty things from the room, tell the manager. It's not your job to pick up, they were saying, anyhow, you guys are talking, you know what I'm talking about. And I said, it's not your job to pick up this nasty thing. I said, these are pigs, these are not, I said, not all other men are like that. I said, not every gay person is nasty like this. And so she apologized, and you know, and I don't know what happened after that, but I didn't hear any more talking after that.
Were they very surprised?
They were shocked. They all looked at me like, oh my God. They did. They were totally shocked. And my boys were like going in a room, put the key in, get inside.
So in building on that a little bit, what preconceived notions have people had about you?
What does that mean?
Ideas that they've had before they've met you, opinions they formed without knowing you.
I think a few, and they still do, they think they're afraid to approach me, they think that maybe I'm not, I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. What are your favorite items of leather?
My corset.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not wearing it tonight.
I expected you to, actually. What about do you like?
I like when I'm cinched in it.
So?
It feels so good. It just, you know, everything goes in its right place. And I look thinner. My clothes get bigger. I love wearing my corset.
Do you only have one?
No, I have way too many.
How many?
I have like 8 of them.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a little story about my corset, because some of you have seen me wear the black one with the red trimming thing on it. So we went to Guerneville, and we came back, and I parked my car at one of my boys' house, and get up in the morning to get in my car. They had busted the window out of my car. They stole my suitcase with 2 of my corsets, 3 of my floggers, and all my little things that I wear. Handcuffs, everything was gone. So I'm like totally panicked. So I called my friends, and guess what happened to me? So one of my family members, her name is, she's a drag queen. He's Steve Crawford, but his drag name is Snatch, so he's Mama Snatch. And I told him the story. He goes, "Oh my God, it's probably, you know, that in I forgot that area they call there with all the hippies and stuff. I forgot what they call it now." Yeah, exactly. And he actually went there. He says, "Mama, when I walked in that store where I thought I was going to find it, the first store," he said, "I looked up and they had your red corset up there for $30. They had all my stuff up on the wall." So she said, she told the manager, that's Mama, give it to me right now, and we call the cops. They got all my stuff, except my handcuffs, which those are cheap. But my floggers, that one of my daddies gave me, a really beautiful one, that was way up there for like $20. Hello? But I got my stuff back.
That's great.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
Absolutely. So, tell us about the Mama's Barbie doll that you received.
Who told you that?
A little
Oh my
late.
God!
Well, there's got to be a good story there if you've got that reaction.
So, I used to have barbecues at my house, 4th of July barbecues. And you invite 3 people, and you expect maybe 8 or 9. So every year it kept on getting bigger and bigger. So we used to do tequila shots out of the bottle. And when we were drinking regular stuff, when we got more messed up, we started drinking tequila. So one of the boys, one year for my birthday, he gave me a Barbie doll, hair almost like this, a mask, because I love wearing masks, a mask. The nipples were pierced like mine with a chain through it, boots up to here like I have, tight pants, and I looked at this thing and I go, oh my God, I wish I was looking that good. So what they did was they bought the doll that 4th of July, and they had a bottle of tequila. They strapped her legs around here, and everybody had to do Mama. So we did Mama every year, 4th of July. Mama came out, sat in a bottle, and they all got Mama.
Well, you alluded to masks. Tell us a bit about masks. What appeals to you there?
I have several that actually I donated it, not donated, I put it in silent auction and got money for them because they're like, I'm getting older and it's hard getting confined with all this extra stuff, but I've gotten good money when I set it up for a silent auction. But I love masks, and I had, his name is Toro in San Francisco, and one day he looked at me, I didn't know who he was, and he says, "Ma'am, come here." And I'm like, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I make leather masks, and I want to make you one." So I said, "Really?" And all I could think was like a hood type thing, which that's not good for me. And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Here's my card, call me up." and come and I'll make a mask. He does it for your face individually. So I went there, of course I took two of my boys with me, and he did the most beautiful mask. It's hard to describe, but one had horns. I love things with horns. And one of them is like a full face mask with big ears and horn. It's absolutely to die for. So the first year, I think it was Doria Folsom, I put that on, and everybody's like, oh my God. You know, and he actually gave it to me, sold it to me for like $100, which I was going, this is kind of cheap. And what he wanted me to do eventually, which is what happened, I guess he was hoping, because I knew people that I would word of mouth, and he usually charges like $600 for his mask. And whoever wears, any of you have ever wore a mask, you know how sweaty it gets? His does not get that way. So I wore it false and everybody went crazy over it. So then I got him to vend at Folsom. One is it, put a table out there, you know, pay your vending fee or whatever. I gave him all the information. His mask all went like that. So then for thanking me for all the money that he made me 3 other ones. And I think on that slide that you had earlier, there's 1 or 2 that I wore before that I liked from him.
Cool. Well, you burned through most of my questions. I've only got 1 left. I had 42 questions for you. But in wrapping up my formal part of the interview, what will be your legacy?
My family. I'm losing weight, am I? Oh.
Well, before concluding that, what I'd like to do is I've got a bit of some video that I'd like to show. And after that, we'll open up the floor, and I hope some people have some questions for one another. Since we've got her here, you may as well let her here.
Yeah, and I have time to give birth.
Sure, all that. Absolutely.
And get your credit cards out. I'm going to be asking for money. For Elliot and not for me.
Cool. Okay, let's show a little bit of video. And what I'm going to do really quickly, I'm just going to slide the chair over here so it's out of the way. Go ahead and if you'd like to go ahead and watch the video while we're done. There we go.
In regards to Sweet Spanish.
Oh,
Not so listen up. I just wanted to say that it was nice to meet you, and I promised you last week I have something better.
oh my God. That was for my 60th birthday.
Oh,
Before you even hear what the key was this year, you titled this on the back, I love Mama.
Changes everything. That was LeatherWalk. This is the mask I was telling you guys about.
I also must say thank you to Mama for coming on board.
Look for the raising of the leather flag on LeatherWalk Day.
Helping to raise the money necessary to have this flag made in a very short period of time. What was it, Mama? 3 months? 3 fundraisers.
You raised over $18,000